Mansions of Madness. Due to a board game boom in the past couple of years, you probably play board games. Well, I've got the board game recommendation for you. Fantasy Flight's Mansions of Madness sells at retail for $100, and I've got to say, I feel like it was pretty well worth it. I bought the first edition of Mansions of Madness, and the board was just cluttered to hell with small tokens, and it took over an hour to set up. The second edition has been completely reworked to now get rid of all those tiny pieces and work through an app. The game allows 2 to 5 players, while one person is the game's equivalent of a game master through the app. You explore haunted hallways and abhorrent abodes to try to either solve a mystery or sometimes just get the hell out of Dodge. Our last game ended trying to close a portal to an eldritch dimension while inside a mansion that was ripping itself apart from a tornado. In the hallway, a nun was fighting off a Shoggoth with her fists in a dream. The Drifter was hurriedly deciphering texts, all the while explaining the counter ritual to a librarian as she floundered to close the portal and save the world. The game is a lot of fun, and the second edition has really gotten rid of all the setup time that the last game required. I do have a few gripes though. The miniatures that came with the game are flimsy and a terrible product. They look like they're 3D printed, and if this were a miniature review, they would be close to the 2 out of 10 range. The unarmed combat option seems a little bit unconventionally overpowered since it picks a stat at random to test you on, and you can actually end up being a world-class boxer even if you pick the most meek character. Lastly, the wording on a lot of the rules are obtuse and honestly kind of offensive to read. If you can get someone to explain it to you, it's a lot more simple than they make it out to be. Mansions of Madness was a hoot. I had a great time, and I think I'm going to play it again as soon as possible. That was not something I would have said about the first edition. Mansions of Madness gets an 8 out of 10. Very good. If you enjoyed this review, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment below to tell me what you'd like me to review next, and please consider sharing the video online as well. I could really use the exposure. Thank you so much for watching.
雰囲気に流されて私といたしてしまって結婚して妊娠して出産して